Welcome to Reflections, a show that seeks to examine if others see God in your reflection and how Scripture relates to us in this day and age. Peace and all God's blessings be with you. I am Father Bob Janine, the pastor of Mission St. Sergius in Bacchus and the Servant General of the Order Franciscans of Mercy of the Reformed Catholic Church. And today we are going to be reflecting on the readings for the 25th Sunday of Ordinary Time. I've entitled this reflection, Seek the Lord for True Peace. Seek the Lord while he is still to be found. Call to him while he is still near. These words are taken from the first reading from the book of Isaiah, 55, 6 through 9. Should we think about them? They are a wake-up call. They are a wake-up call to us even in this 21st century. A wake-up call to constantly seek God. Seek God not only in words, but in thoughts and in actions. The second reading for this Sunday is from Paul's letter to the Philippians and has some advice for us when he tells people to avoid anything in your everyday lives that would be unworthy of the gospel of Christ. Avoid anything in your everyday lives that would be unworthy of the gospel of Christ. That sort of covers a lot of territory, doesn't it? Avoid those things that would be unnecessary in living the gospel of Christ. Makes you think, doesn't it? What things do we have around us? What things do we try to collect? What things do we do that are contradictory to what the teachings of Christ? I think that there probably is quite a few things. This week's gospel is a very familiar story about the landowner who hires laborers at various times during the day and offers to pay them the same amount whether they were hired at the beginning of the day or the end of the day. They were all paid the same amount. And some complained that it was unfair. And Jesus answered them with this statement. My friend, I am not being unjust to you. Did we not agree to a denarius? Take your earnings and go. I choose to pay the last, as much as I pay you. Have I no right to do what I like with my own? Why be envious because I am generous? Thus, the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. Okay. The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. The last people to find God could very well be the first people that are welcomed by God. And those that have been so self-righteous and, I'm a good Catholic. I go to church every single Sunday. I put a donation in. And I help clean the church. Or I know, but excuse me, when you walk out of the church, I've heard you say, oh, did you see that person? Isn't it disgusting that people like that are here? I've heard those words out of people who claim, I'm a good Catholic. Yet, they want to eliminate people because of the color of their skin. They want to eliminate people because they're not dressed the right way. And you know what? Some of those very same people, yeah, they put something in the offertory, but it's not the 10% that they're supposed to put in. Okay, 10% can be time or tithing, monetary, or it can be talent. If God has given you an ability, if you're good at sewing or cleaning, help take care of the altar linens, or help make the vestments, or make floral arrangements. There are a dozen and one ways that somebody can help if they don't have the money, but they have gifts. Tend to the lawn outside. I know people who were not born Catholic, but they found Jesus, and they loved Jesus so intensely that they cannot do enough, that they try to take everything that Jesus said to heart, even down to having the barest minimum of furniture and clothing, and they fast a lot, sometimes to the detriment of their health, I believe. But they love Christ, and they want to be close to Christ so much that they take everything that Christ said to heart. The point is, it doesn't matter how we plan to live according to Christ's teachings, nor does it matter what hour of our lives we call upon God to be with us. God is there all the time. He's waiting for us to acknowledge Him. We're all, if we do this, if we try, if we follow, if we try to live to the best of our ability as Christ would like us to live, we're going to receive the same award and reward as the saints whose lives have been documented. To live as Christ taught means to have compassion for the sick, the poor, the aged, and to reach out and help them. We need to be fair and honest in all of our personal and our business dealings. We must speak out against any injustice, every injustice. We need to demand equality for everybody. Our world is facing many, many challenges and has far too often rejected many of those principles I spoke of: compassion, mercy, fairness in business dealings, fairness in salaries, pay. If you're an employer, pay your employees a just and living wage. Make sure that you have a health plan that they can be a part of. Wars are unjust, and they all have tragic results. And they're all because somebody's trying to dominate somebody else, or they're about greed and materialism, not compassion and justice. In the United States, our government has been advocating, proposing laws that are going to give tax breaks to the richest of the rich, but cut programs that help the poor, the sick, and the aged. Seniors living on fixed incomes have a buying power that has lost more than 50% in the last 10 years, while the percentage of millionaires and billionaires has increased. The government has cut food stamps. Claiming that the cost of living has gone down. I don't know where they're living, but not in my country, not in my town. Everything has gone up. The cost of milk, bread, everyday food, the basic essentials cost more today than they did 10 years ago. And the salaries on those in fixed incomes, on Social Security, those people who are only getting their Social Security and may even have been lucky and have had a retirement from their employer as well, they're all struggling. To be a true follower of Christ, we need to be always aware of the needs of those who are less fortunate and make sure that they're being cared for adequately. A true follower of Christ would welcome all who came to seek God with open arms and not reject or drive anyone away. A person who loves God would call on God to be there every moment of their life, to recognize the gifts that God has bestowed on them. I find it amazing when I visit people who are living on less than $1,000, actually less than $900 a month, and are struggling, and they're eating barely. They're eating, fortunately, maybe people have brought them, or they've food pantry, or they've been qualified to receive Meals on Wheels. But these people, some of them, have a joy, and they're there, and they love God, and they're so happy to be able to receive the Eucharist because they're not physically able to get out to church. And to have the priest come to them, their lives light up, and they're just joyous. A true follower of Christ would not harm anybody. No, never. Wouldn't harm a person, especially a child, or abuse a person. One of the most despicable crimes in my mind is abuse of a child or an elderly person, a sick person. If we are to seek the Lord while he is to be found, and call on him while he is still near. We need to heed Christ's teachings and ensure that we do everything in our power to make sure that those in need are cared for, that we work and strive to make sure that our nation is a nation under God, with liberty and justice for all, and a country that truly lives and breathes the principles that this country was formed on. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with the certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our prosperity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States. A perfect union, justice, domestic tranquility, provide for the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our prosperity. Our nation was established for equality and justice. Meaning that what this person gets, that person gets. Equality. Some are lucky, and those that are lucky need to look after those that are unlucky, that are needed, that have needs, so that they can have a quality of life that is at least human, with dignity. We need to make sure that those people who are in nursing homes are being cared for adequately and not being let to lie in their own excrement. And I've seen this. I've seen it, sadly. We need to open our eyes and see the injustices around us and speak up against them. We need to take and share the gifts that God has given us. Let us all please pray for those who claim to be the followers of Christ and those who worship the one God, the Creator of all. Pray that people will live up to the teachings of Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, Gandhi, and all those who have advocated for peace and brotherhood, mercy, compassion, love over injustice and war and poverty and dissension. Let us seek the Lord while he is still to be found and while he is still near. Do not let the power of darkness win. Reach out. Look around you. See where you can help. In doing that, you are ensuring your own everlasting and eternal life. And you will be doing your part in bringing about a world where there is peace and justice and equality for every single human being on the face of the earth. Until we meet again, I am Father Bob Janine, and I'm inviting you to please visit our websites, learn about our ministry, learn about our Franciscan community. If you feel God is calling you to serve God as a member of a religious community, go to our Franciscan site, click on the tab that says Syllabus, and it will show you what is required to become a member of our community. And whether you not want to be a brother or a sister, the only requirement is that you be over 18 years of age. Over 18 years of age. Man or woman, married or single, widowed or divorced. God welcomes you all. We need laborers. So if you feel you might be called, check it out. And while you're there on our websites, think about hitting that donation button, which will take you to PayPal, where you can make a donation to keep our ministries alive, to support us in the work we do with the aged, the sick, the homeless, and others who are in desperate need. The battered women's shelters, so many areas that we try to serve and help. So until we meet again, may God bless you and keep you. May He let His light shine upon you and fill you with His infinite mercy and love. Pace bene. God bless you.
This program was made possible by your Franklin friends and neighbors, good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.